Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
So, good afternoon. Thank God the homers are off, right? No, just kidding. Those are great jag-offs over there on that Ken and Ken show. All of them are good friends. You got Timu Joe Rogan. Yes, I hope it bodes well for us too. And I have some more background on Drew Petzing. I don't know if you guys saw my post last night. I know Michael MDE felt like he was coming off the ledge after he read it, but I have more background. Dwayne Keene. So, Petzing was actually a defensive back in college in Vermont for a small Division III school who hurt himself and then transferred into coaching as a student. He became a graduate assistant and moved on to Harvard and Boston and briefly coached the linebackers at Yale before jumping to the NFL as an intern behind coordinator Norv Turner in Cleveland. The upgrade paid that led to an opportunity with the Minnesota Vikings where Petzing followed Turner. He was right there for every call I made, Turner, toward the Athletic in 2023. When you come in as an offensive assistant, you kind of do a little bit of everything. And I think you get tested in a way a little guys that are willing to do whatever you ask them. It doesn't matter what it is, how big, how small, they enjoy doing it. And that's the way Drew was. Yes, I am. And I'll get into the hirings everywhere else. I'm talking about our hire right now. Petzing spent 6 seasons working with the Vikings with various positions. He initially assisted with the running backs, then the receivers, followed by the quarterback. In 2019, he earned the opportunity to lead the receiver room with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. When the Vikings offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski took the head coaching job in Cleveland, he brought Petzing with him, where he turned the young assistant, continued to expand his resume, serving 2 years as the tight ends coach and working with the quarterback in 2021. Stefanski, I think he's one of the smartest coaches I've been around. I say that because he coached defense in college. He moved to the offensive side of the ball, been in the running backs room, the wide receivers room, the quarterback room, and the tight ends room. I think with that type of breadth of experience is really important as you're developing as a young coach. I think anybody that has been around him sees somebody that has a great knowledge of the game. I am talking about him right now. I'm going into his background for everybody. I want you guys to know his background. So just pay attention because I've been talking about the guy for the past 4 minutes. Following a 7-10 season where the team stayed with a competitive with the Jacoby Brissett starting 11 games, Petzing was offered an opportunity to be the coordinator for the Cardinals under Jonathan Gannon. The two had worked together a decade earlier in Minnesota. Despite starting quarterback Kyler Murray missing more than half the season, Petzing's offense didn't bottom out the first year with the Cardinals, as the team finished with similar yardage and points as the previous season. With a healthy Murray, all 17 games in 2024, the Cardinals offense jumped to 12th in scoring, fueled by a rushing attack led by James Conner that averaged 5.3 yards per carry, that ranked second in the NFL behind only the Baltimore Ravens that year. Injuries again ravaged the Cardinals in 2025, sending Petzing's offense to subpar production levels. Murray appeared in just 5 games. Connor was lost to a season-ending injury 3 weeks into the campaign, and backup Trey Benson was done in week 4. If there was a consistent bright spot under Petzing, it was the emergence of Trey McBride as the game's most productive tight end. After receiving just 235 receiving yards his rookie year, McBride averaged 106 catches for 1,070 yards and 5 touchdowns over the past 3 seasons. In other words, 3 straight. There are undeniable schemes elements that make Petzing a good fit for Campbell in Detroit. For one, the coordinator has shown a steady commitment to the run with top 10 finishes in his 2 seasons in Arizona. Exactly why I'm going into the details. The Cardinals have ranked near the top of the league in 12 and 13 personnel package by deployment. The average is around 10%. He does it 13 to 22% in those 2 type of packages, which we do like to run for our run game a lot, especially in the red zone. So, and that's also the one we do a lot of those trick play actions out of. But he is all about not flash, but grit and substance. That's my thing. He takes the ugly yards. His offenses are often described as less flashy but solid, focusing on high percentage completion, screen passes, positioning blockers effectively rather than relying on sole miracle plays. Personnel versatility. He is known for using multiple personnel packages, including heavy use of tight ends and pre-snap motion to create mismatches. Adaptability over system. He has stated his goal is to attack the defense in different ways. Based on the weekly opponent in 2023, he successfully led the Cardinals to a top 5 rushing offense despite losing his starting quarterback for half the season. Unlike many air raid or spread-heavy coordinators, Petzing frequently puts the quarterback under center to facilitate a downhill running game and a heavy play-action passing. That's funny because Ben Johnson made him use RPOs about 10% of the time his last year here. So Goff does run RPOs. He just doesn't run with the ball. He's either pitching it back, an end around. You forget we used RPOs with Ben Johnson all the time. So don't say he's not an RPO quarterback because Goff had one of his best years in 2024 under Johnson, and we went 15-2 with running RPOs 10% of the time. So I don't understand that. I just said he doesn't do a lot of the RPOs. I just said he keeps his quarterbacks under center. Kyler Murray audibles to RPOs a lot. So when you hear that he keeps his quarterback under center 38% of the time, which is 5% above the next closest team that does it the most, which was the Detroit Lions, I don't understand where he runs a lot of RPOs. He actually runs it a little bit less than what Ben Johnson did here in 2024. So you're going back and forth here, because the numbers say something different than what you said. And we did it here with Goff, with Ben Johnson, a lot, over 10%. He did it less than 10. So in other words, we're not going to put Goff in a silly situation where he might be out there hung out to dry to try and throw a ball downfield with nobody in front to block him. His coaching style is characterized as blueprint focused, approach that emphasizes versatility and physical running and strategic under center play action. His Petzing scheme is widely viewed as a descendant of the Kevin Stefanski, Gary Kubiak coaching tree. Dude made Jacoby Brissett look great this past season. I can't wait to see what he can do with Goff. Brissett is not a runner, but yes, like Goff, a good distributor of the ball, good reading defense. Thank you. I just get when you don't get who you want. Lion and I go ahead and do the research to look at what this guy has done over his past 2.5 seasons as an offensive coordinator to get the thing to talk people off the ledge, and people are attacking him, and he hasn't even coached a game yet. I don't get it. Everybody was blowing the goat that we got Johnny Morton last year, and I said we'll see. I said I hope it's good. I wanted it to be good because he was here in 2022. We all saw it wasn't. You could say, oh, we had a better record with him doing that. That's more because Dan Campbell was the general on the sideline leading both sides of the ball. When he became focused on offense, the defense suffered. It didn't happen right away. The first few weeks, the defense was fine. But by the Giants game, you could tell that defense was washed. What happened also in that time? Branch gets hurt. Kirby has a knee issue, doesn't come back from. DJ Reed comes back and is a shell of what he was the first 5 weeks before he got injured. Terrion Arnold separates his shoulder, needs shoulder surgery. They had to go clean up the scar tissue, so he had a second one. He'll still be back by training camp. Because Terrion Arnold was technically our best corner, and then it was Rock Ya-Sin. Amik Robertson even looked bad this year. I know that's why everybody's attacking him, and I hate it. McDaniel said he wants a head coaching job. He came out and said that today. That's why he has 4 more head coaching interviews. He didn't take the Philly job. He didn't take the Tampa Bay job. He didn't take the Detroit job. There's a reason. And Dan Campbell came out and said after talking to Mike the second time, I don't think he's a fit. Huh. Imagine that. I did too, to an extent, but I did say we'll see. I said there's a chance it'll be good. But you know what else happened that nobody predicted? June 3rd, after the hiring, after training camp, who retires? Frank Ragnow. After the draft, after all the good free agents are gone. So we had to shuffle everything. And for 2 weeks, we heard how good Tate Ratledge was at center. And then they put Graham Glasgow in. And they still will. That's the problem. Everybody's going to cry about us not having Chris. Yes. And the Indiana Hoosiers, with winning last night, they became the first college team to have an undefeated season in basketball and football. No other team in the NCAA Division I can say that. And I don't think they can say it in Division II or III either. They're the only basketball and football team to have a wire-to-wire undefeated season in both sports. Ricky, you don't understand. I got attacked all night for posting an article about it. So I'm a little apprehensive when I'm trying to give the background and I see the guy being attacked in the chat. Because most of the time, you guys don't do that when I'm giving a background on somebody. And I love the fact you usually listen. But you really are, you totally flipped your script on being the guy that backs me on everything I say. The Stefanski coaching tree has been pretty good, but in all actuality, he's out of the Norv Turner tree. Yeah, but you're letting the previous season and a guy that was a first-time OC, this guy's not a first-time OC. Well, what we asked for, somebody who's been an OC before, somebody who's not a Dan Campbell guy, not out of the Dan Campbell tree and hasn't been here. He checks both of those boxes. That is what we asked for. And we're still going, oh, it's not the guy I wanted. That's what it sounds like. do you understand what I'm saying? It's not just you. It's everybody. I've been the voice of reason for this team. I said I thought we'd fall back to 10 wins. I was wrong, and I admit it. 9 wins. And no, it's not good enough. Well, I guess you should have been here for the first 15 minutes because I went into a heavy detail of them, Dan Davis. I'm not repeating it. But yesterday we saw the defensive coordinator of the Packers go to the Miami Dolphins. So therefore, a new defensive scheme in Green Bay. They got 9 wins, just like us and just like many. So I don't want to hear they are so much better than the Lions because they're not. They only got in the playoffs. Shep is staying. Miami hired Hafley. There hasn't been any more news about Shepard getting head coaching job. I said that could have been a DEI Rooney Rule interview. We didn't know. When he got a second one, it looked like it wasn't. But then yesterday, they decided after the Shep interview in the morning and the Hafley interview in the afternoon, they hired Hafley. And then the Titans, in the middle of the night, decided Robert Saleh deserves a second shot at head coaching. Make it make sense. They needed an offensive-minded coach to help Cam Ward in that O-line, and they had a great defense, and they hire a defensive coach. Make it make sense to me. I actually say he looks like Dr. Evil. There's our new OC. But there are your coaching hires so far. Titans, Robert Saleh. Giants, John Harbaugh. Falcons, Kevin Stefanski. Dolphins, Jeff Hafley. Amen. Oh my goodness, it's Smoking Dad. Well, I like the fact that he likes the quarterback to be under center. He likes to run play action. He likes to use pre-snap movement. He also sticks to the run game. He does a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, all things we've done here. Now, that's also on us, predicated on getting probably a new offensive tackle and at least a new center. And I say we should probably draft another guard because I'm not happy with Awasika. Tristan Colon can kick rock. Kingsley Egekune is now a Brown. So he's no longer here. And Tristan Colon sucks. Big booty cheeks once again. And I'm not above taking a day 3 quarterback. 6th, 7th round at the earliest. I have my target that I came up with, and that's because I watched him in an interview with one Mr. John Gruden. I suggest you watch it. Jack Strand, cancer survivor. All right. Yeah, he actually he's from the Norv Turner / Kevin Stefanski tree out of Cleveland. He doesn't use as much RPOs as some people talk about. Over 38% of the plays come under center with the quarterback, utilizing motion and multiple personnel packages. I'm trying to figure out who Snoil is because ever since they changed stuff, I don't know anybody's names because they're going by your channel. I doubt we get him either because they're still working on his right now. Linderbaum there in Raven. And more than likely, because they have the money, the Giants will get him. Because let's face it, John Jingle, Jacob Heimerschmidt over there in Giants land has not been able to stay healthy. That's a good one. And it looks like he sticks to the run. Something we've been crying for over a year now. Hopefully he utilizes both, but I doubt we keep Mountie. If you listen to what Brad said, it looks like it. The writing's on the wall. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt reference made me speed up by one. Oh, I'm just trying to have fun while I report the news. Can't I have fun with it? And what did I say was going to happen last week when San Francisco went to Seattle? When I was with Megan Gelkrauger right here on this show, talking that night with her on the roundtable talk, I said the duct tape and dollar store super glue was going to come off. Yeah, off-season money is going to be tight. Right, and I do agree, Snoil. Oh, he wouldn't. It depends on how much money he wants. Because let's face it, we're going to roll over about 16 million from this past season to add to the 5 million we got left because everything, and we still don't know what it's going to go up. So right now we can only count on 21 million in salary cap. But you know what's good about that? You know what that 21 million is good for? That's the highest amount of cap room of any team in the NFC North. Vikings and Green Bay are over the cap. They got to start restructuring now to get under it. Bears are behind us. I think they have like 11 million left, is what it said after their rollover. But they're not hurting. They just got to move some people around and make some moves to better their team. And I get it. At center, I have my 3 targets. I am out on Connor Lew. I'm out. And because of what we need up front, both edge and left tackle, which are better prospects than are in the interior O-line, in the first 2 rounds, whether it's edge in the first and left tackle in the second or the other way around, I don't think we go center in the first 2 rounds. So you got to skip Connor Lew, who's the best rated one, but he's coming off of an ACL tear, and it's his second ACL tear. So we're probably going to see him drift down draft boards. Then you got my best one is the Remington Award winner out of Iowa. I did a deep dive into him. The guy doesn't allow pressure. The guy is a road grader on top of it. He's a well-balanced, shorter, thicker version of Frank Ragnow. That's his pro comp, too. Logan Jones, center out of Iowa. Second place. I don't mind Jake Slaughter, but I moved him down after watching the national championship last night. Pat Coogan out of Indiana. That's my second place guy. And then it's Jake Slaughter. There's also a Jake Majors, but I haven't done any film on him because, let's face it, the first half of the season, there wasn't an O-line in Texas. That's why Arch Manning was awful. Right now, we're over here. There's been a lot of blowing, so it's only about 2 or 3 inches. They're over the cap. That's what I'm getting at. Harrison Smith retiring right after a re-signing year doesn't help them a lot. They were on the hook for part of that Adam Thielen money. I wish I could be. I don't have the background. I don't have the college degrees it takes to get in there, and I also don't have the years of experience. Yeah, -12 wind chill index. It's awful cold out there. I haven't wanted to go outside for a cigarette because I got to bundle up like an Eskimo right now. And still, by the end of one cigarette, I almost can't feel my fingers, whether I'm wearing gloves or not. That's bad. So stay in, stay warm. Yeah, I believe the Grand Rapids area got hit hard with the lake effect snow. I'm a little more inland, far away from the bay now because I'm not in Bay City anymore. Thank God. That place gets lake effect snow there, but not as bad as the west side of the state. So I'm okay with the hire. He checked 2 of the 3 boxes we wanted. The only box he didn't check with me, he wasn't one of my top 3 targets. That's it. We had 7 guys, and I had 4 of them that I was out on. The puppy barely even plays in the snow. It's out, go, get back in. That's the way our dog is too, Miss Penny. Yeah, she doesn't play at all. I'll go out there and I'll be smoking my cigarette, and she looks at me like I'm nuts and says, scratches and says, "Open the door." So I'm going to try to get into training camp this year. If anybody wants to go to training camp, let me know. Let me know as soon as the tickets go up. They're the 2 days before the tickets are going to go up, because I will sit online and get my tickets. I'll get in line the night before at midnight when it opens until they actually open the window and get some tickets. Because I would love to meet some of y'all that are here in the Detroit area, and we could go to training camp together because they're general admission. I'm not getting the VIP ones you got to pay for. So it's either find a seat or stand by the fence. But I had a blast the last time, and I'd love to do it again. Well, we gotta have to. It's exactly. Do we get another? Yeah, we're gonna get another running back. I'm pretty sure of it. We did re-sign Sailors already. Sailors is more of the return guy. He was used limited, but you know what? He averaged about the same amount of yards per carry as Monty behind this O line. So I think that's what they're thinking. Greg Reynolds had a big drop off. That's why he wasn't on the roster anymore, and we signed Sailors to the active roster, especially after that fumble he had on the kick return. No, it's later in the year. It's closer to March when they put those up. That's the VIP ones that are sale. I'm talking about the free ones they give up where you got to sit online all night, Brent DeWitt. I'm not getting in the VIP area because I can't afford it. No different than I can even afford to go to a game these days. And I think that's why they kept Sailors. I mean, he's not really a Monty style of running back. He's not as fast, but he's a between the tackles, great contact type of running back is what I saw when he was with the DC Defenders. So I was happy with getting Sailors. He was one of those guys. But Mike Washington out of Arkansas is a kid you can look at. Noah. All right, I'll get 2. That's 2. I'm probably going to get 3 because I think Grandma Trace would want to go. Does anybody else want to meet us? Because we'll go on like a Sunday when they do that practice, or maybe a Monday or Tuesday. It's going to be one of those 3 days because I got to work it around my work schedule. But I won't go live that day if I'm at camp. I'll be posting pictures to the community post for us. and we'll do a little picture of all of us together and bring some money to get some memorabilia. Um, we'll, we'll go to the Pro Sports Zone in Livonia or something like that on the way down. It was cool meeting Eric Hipple that day. I'd like to see who's going to be the guest legend, Lions legend that's going to be there that day. Have him sign that helmet I got signed by Eric Hipple. But it is that time where we're going to have fun again. All right, we're going to go by the ESPN version. Hey, he's there this time, I think. Caleb. Okay, let's see what the offers are. Because nope, only 2 offers. I'm not going to 31. I'm not going to 29. You got Caleb Lomo. That means Francis Mauagawa must have went early. Yes, he went 3rd overall. Spencer Panu went 2nd. Fernando Mendoza. The Raiders traded to 1st. Probably the smartest thing they could have done. So now look at this. After last night getting 2 sacks, he became a 1st-round pick. He was at 50, according to ESPN last week. I'm going to go Caleb Lomo. I think. I don't like Cassius Howell. He's just on that light side. The only other one I like, and he's probably fallen because he doesn't get to play right now. There's this guy. He's another light guy, more of an outside linebacker, not a got hand in the dirt guy. Yeah, I think Caleb Lomo it is. All right. 1 trade offer, but we get a 3rd-round pick and we give up our extra 5th. I'm down. I'm taking this trade. I'm not taking another one though. Yeah. All right. I just saw who I wanted. There he is, Zion Young, 6'5", 255, edge out of Missouri. Now we go to the 88 pick. Now this is where it gets interesting. Do I want that? No, I don't want to lose the 203. We're going to need those late ones. Here's where I'm going to say I'm going to make sure I don't lose them. Oh, I already did. He's gone. Pat Coogan, you're a lion. Wow. And now that, look, I get the 155 back. I pick up 162 and 164 for getting rid of my 7th and this pick right here. And I still have the 130th. And they moved Trey Zune to center because that's where he finished on the Texas A&M line. Yes, Pistons keep rolling. Which center does ESPN have ranked the highest? It's Connor Lew out of Auburn, but he just had his 2nd ACL surgery, so I'm out on him. I don't want to go that route. Oh, damn it. Time for me to finish this. I'm going to take this straight. We need picks. All right. Now, let's see. We need a running back. This is the Robin to Batman, but there's Roman Hemby. He's close. Adam Randall is the guy that I like. Now we can get into defense, go safety. There's one of the safeties I like, Deshaun Singleton, 6'3", 210 pounds, quick out of Nebraska. Linebacker. Man, my guy out of Utah is gone again. Cornerback, Damani Jackson. I think he's 6'1" and 201. I want 6'1" or taller. I'm tired of short corners. I'm taking him here. All the guys fell off here. All right, let's go offense. Tight end. Cuevas, it's close. This is another. Oh, there we go. That's who I want. I want the guy that scored that rushing touchdown as a fullback, as well as played decent at tight end as well. I'll take him over anybody else in the Big Ten right now. DJ Campbell. And be done. I forgot I traded away that last pick. But we did end up with 9 picks. I traded a lot in the middle, but ended up with guys that we can use. These are per ESPN's board. Moved up. Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out who it is. Snoil. It's probably Snoil. I was trying to figure out who you were. I don't think it's a lazy hire. I think it's just the opposite. It's doing a deep study that actually might help us down the road here. Gab, I understand what you're saying, but he checked the boxes of what we wanted. We did not want a first-time OC. We did not want a Dan Campbell guy, but we wanted somebody who runs the ball first. He checks all 3 of those boxes. But here is that wrap up of this latest one. Caleb Lomu, Zion Young, Pat Coogan, Adam Randall, Deshaun Singleton, Domani Jackson, Kendall Daniels, Riley Nowakowski. And if you don't know who he was, go back and watch that national championship game. He went in at fullback in the 13 personnel and rushed a touchdown in for him. He also had 3 big receptions to extend drives. He's accomplished both on the ground and as a tight end. And then DJ Campbell, guard out of Texas. And we got Packer Babe in here. Hi, Yoli. I guess we can agree to disagree on what we feel. I did a deep dive into him, and I think he's actually a better hire than we thought. It wasn't one of the big names, and it wasn't your Byron Leftwich. I know how you feel about it. You know what? Yeah, the same. You can't go wrong with a Polish tight end. Hey. You know what? I bet you they should do a deeper dive into how he did for them, because the only year they were healthy, he did great. That usually doesn't happen when the head coach gets fired and you're a part of that crew. I, I, I don't get how people don't understand that. How many of these head coaches that have been fired has their offensive coordinators gotten a job with the team their head coach was fired from so far? The only guy on the list of the OC candidates that we were talking to that I saw I absolutely did not want was Arthur Smith. He's awful. So yes, we didn't get Arthur Smith, so I'm happy. I'm willing to give the guy a shot after reading up on him and learning about his background. You know, do a deeper dive than just on the surface. You act like it's a 4-year search. What 4-year search are you talking about? Prayers your daughter gets well, Pac Babe. It hasn't been a 4-year search. Thank you, Brent. Um, yeah, I just they knew Ben and AG was leaving the season before last. They knew it in that divisional round, and I knew it by how they coached. I said, "Damn it, our guys are gone." Did I not say that? I said it during the game because they coached like it. I'm just trying to get how you say it's a 4-year search because Ben Johnson was the OC for 3 straight seasons. He turned down jobs in the 2023-24 season to come back for the 24-25 season. I don't get your mindset on why you thought they were gone already. AG turned down jobs. He had interviews. Ben Johnson turned him down before they interviewed him. Washington was on a plane ready to come sign him. He said, "Stay there. I'm staying in Detroit." He said, "Turn around. Don't bother landing." They called him while in air with a $14 million a year contract. I remember that. You know, I don't get why everybody says it was a 4-year search. It hasn't been a 4-year search. It's been a 1-year search. And we got it wrong last year, and we hired another one that is not from the coaching tree, does not have a background tied to Johnson or Campbell. I'm okay with it. It's one of the things I said I wanted after last year's debacle. He's not a first time OC. Check that bookmark. I just think everybody's crying because it isn't who they wanted. And you know what? I got attacked all night for doing a deep dive into the numbers about what this guy does with what he had to work with in Arizona. Is this team not more talented than Arizona? You know, if you think we're not, then jump off the bandwagon. Because I think we're more talented at every position, even last year with the bad O line, than Arizona. Other than tight end, I think Trey McBride might be better than Sam Laporta, and that's about it. It isn't back to hope, dude. I go look at his stats. I just hate where everybody jumps off a cliff because we don't get who they want. He likes to keep a quarterback under center. He likes to use play action. He likes to use pre-snap motions. He likes to use the run game to set up the play action. Check, 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 check. All stuff we did with Ben Johnson. It is like the song says by the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you might get what you need. So let's give it a shot. That's all I got to say. Oh my God. Let's jump off. I'm done. I'm done trying to help people off the ledge. I've been trying for 18 hours now, ever since this got announced. It took me by surprise. So instead of jumping off a ledge and posting how horrible a hire this is, I did a deep dive into his background. The guy started out as a defensive back that got hurt in college, who coached as a student, then switched to Yale and Harvard as a linebackers coach, then got picked up by Norv Turner. That's the only thing it is. He looks a lot like a cross between Dr. Evil and Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. He's somewhere in the middle. Dan Davis calls him mastermind. I'm not doing that yet. I'm tired of everybody because they don't check one box on your list. Oh, he sucks. Lazy hire. People thought that when we promoted Ben Johnson, too. I think it turned out pretty good. And he was the first-time OC at the time. Let's fix the O-line and see what happens. That's where I'm at. Have a great day, everybody. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Starts right here. Much love. I will see you tomorrow at noon.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.